Hey folks, this is Best in Slot and welcome to the announcement for the Planet Zoo Australia pack due out in 5 days on the 25th of August. In tonight's video we're going to take a look at the brand new trailer. We're going to break it down a little bit, just pointing out what's new. Of course, in 5 days when the DLC drops, we'll have videos showcasing all the new items, all the new animals and stuff like that. Going to try to not spend too long doing that, and at the end we're also going to have an unboxing video wherein I do a short little unboxing, only 5 minutes or so, of a care package kind of thing that Frontier sent us. It was really cool, so I'll show you that at the end hopefully. So let's just watch the trailer, then we'll come back and break it down. How's that for a plan? That's a great plan, thank you. These are my two co-casters. They don't really talk, they're a bit useless as co-casters, must be said. There we go. So we do actually get a glimpse at 3 of the 5 new animals. Maybe more. We'll see as we go frame by frame, and I'll try to make sure I'm not utterly crazy. Let's go back to the start, however. Of course, red kangaroo here to lead the charge. So the 5 new animals are the red kangaroo, the koala, the dingo, which are the 3 I predicted when we predicted the Australia pack the other day. I did find out the Australia pack was true like 5 minutes after that video, but I promised I didn't know at the time. Admittedly, I also said that dingo was a coyote, but you got what I meant anyways. Also the blue-tongued lizard and the southern cassowary. So, interesting little pack. I think it'll be 4 habitat animals, 1 exhibit animal, yet again. With obviously the lizard being the exhibit animal. So anyways, here are our kangaroos. Looking great. We're just going to skip forward to the next one because we do get a better look at them. There we go. Nice big group of them right there. We can see a whole sort of family unit of the kangaroos. We've got some babies over here, and we have what is the male-female dimorphism. I did go. There's another one over here. Oh, it's been left out. I did go check this out because I was curious, like how often red kangaroos have this grey colouring, and it really is just the females. In super arid environments, they don't take on this colour dimorphism. They will be more red in colour, but for most red kangaroos, the males are larger, redder and deeper in colour, and the females tend to be more grey. So that's interesting. I'm also wondering, given they're a new animal, how much will they lean into the new colour changing mechanisms we see added to Planet Zoo on the 25th? We'll have to wait and see. Not too much in the way of new items. We do have some new trees. I wouldn't begin to hesitate. I wouldn't begin to guess at what they are, frankly. Tree species are not my speciality. I'll leave that for someone else. Feel free to let me know in the comments, but it's definitely a new species of tree. We've got some new shrubberies as well, I believe, and new plant types down here. We also have some new logs. They look like nice logs, though, I will say. It's a nice looking log. And of course, this is actually a new Australian biome as well, because this is not a new, I believe, a new dirt or a new path type that we're seeing on the ground here. It is an Australia biome, but with the light dirt tool and the dark dirt tool. And you can see how it's got a much more reddish hue to it that you would kind of associate with Australia. Same with the rocks. I was curious how they would be different. We'll get a better look at these in a moment. But again, they've got more of an orange reddish tint to them. Next up. There we go. So again, nicer look there at the rocks. You can see they've got this sort of dry, arid edge to them. They are very similar to the existing rocks that we already have, but they have a colour scheme slightly more appropriate for the biome, I guess. Maybe there's something different about them. We'll have to wait and see in game as well. We can get more of a glimpse at some of the new foliage as well. We've got some shrubbery here, which looks similar to one we've already got. Might not be new, but we also have some new trees over here. These are actually eucalyptus trees of some description. I can't remember the full name, but I do remember that these white bark trees, and they look amazing. It's like a really stark white. It's going to look really cool against the red when they're in the light. Keep an eye out for those throughout the video, but they are a type of eucalyptus tree. It's very exciting. There we go, nice glimpse at the crassowaries. They're going to pop up here, just keep an eye out over there. You can see them here in their full glory though, in this really nice sort of hand-painted looking decoration. I like how the decorations for this are kind of like built into the rock. Also got a glimpse of what looks like a scene from Alien with myriad purple eggs. We have, is this a new display board over here? Yeah, I think it is. You'll see this quite a little bit in this video. That's right, quite a little bit. This kind of reddish, bluish hue to the wood, which seems to be very similar in texture to some of the existing wood pieces, but it's also got a brand new colour. We also have these warning signs for the crossrays. Let's just go up a little bit more. There we go. it looks like most of the animals are going to have these warning signs, or at least the larger ones. Crossaways are sort of medium-sized birds, which is actually in and of itself pretty interesting. They're pretty cool animals anyway. I always really loved they've got this big black fluffy body basically, and then this strikingly blue neck and head, and then a little burst of colour at the waddle. And that was always really interesting. But also they fill kind of a niche in Planet Zoo, because they're probably a little bit larger than, say, the peacocks, well, the peafowl, and similar birds, and the flamingos in just sheer mass. But they're smaller than, you know, the ostrich and stuff like that. A lot of people thought we might be getting a rhea, which would have fit that gap a little bit better, but I do think crossaways are probably more interesting looking creatures. So there's no sunshades, but we'll look at those in a minute. There is another one of our warning signs for the red kangaroo. It does look like the kind of thing you'd see on the road, saying, you know, well, it's actually a little too detailed for it, but kind of on the road, you know, kangaroos about, don't run them over in your buggy, basically. Not much else to say about this one. These really cool, I don't know whether they're like archway kind of pieces. It's going to be cool to like layer things over these to make something pretty interesting looking. But again, what you'd kind of expect, this kind of carved, hand-painted wood. A lot of it feels like hand-painted and hand-done. You can see how rough the lines are. There we go. So 2 more of our animals. We can see the koalas and the dingoes, which looks pregnant with something terrifying. But again, looks hand-painted. I think this is like a sunshade kind of thing. We actually played with those in the Other Servant fairly recently. Now the koala looks absolutely terrified, but it is a really cool design. I also like how it's got this kind of shield kind of look to it. If I think of an Aboriginal shield, this is very much what I would, this kind of like long leaf shape is very much what I would associate with it. So it's nice to see that shape coming in for the actual design of the park as well. There we go, yet more. There's a lot of things in this bloody thing. There's tons of decorations. I believe over 230 scenery and decoration pieces. And of course I will show you every single bloody one of them in 5 days' time. Lots of, again, hand-carved, hand-painted kind of things here. We have a glimpse of first one of the new lizard, the blue-tongued lizard. Got these little circle pieces, very exciting, and a big old yellow kangaroo with a green hip. I'm assuming the point is to show where the kangaroo generates most of its power from those bigger chunky hips. We have another cassowary decoration. It is orange, but I'm assuming the orange, maybe even the black, maybe even the white, are things that we'll be able to recolor. It is Planet Zoo. We tend to have a lot of nice creativity in there, but the cassowary looks, yeah, it's adorable. I really like seeing all the new animal-themed decorations. I mentioned this the other day, but one of the problems with the old Planet Zoo, as in the base game, is that lots of animals in the game have no decorations, because there were so many animals that were released that it would have been mad to have like individual statues and signs and stuff for every single animal. So a lot of them kind of got left out in the cold. With the DLC, because it's always 4 or 5 animals, it's a lot easier to create lots of interesting things, and we're seeing that here. People gnawing on some pizza. Cassowary watches over them like a hawk. There we go. This is my favourite thing. It is like an actual mechanical... Hey, come back. It's an actual mechanical, moving, sound-making kangaroo with a little baby in its pouch as well. Very, very cool. I don't know why, but it looks awesome. I imagine if I was off... I watch a lot of Australian horror films. If I was off in the outback and I felt like I wanted the crocodile tour from Backwater Billy... True thing in a film, this, by the way. And, you know, Billy's not even there. It's like Billy's friend, Hogan. Hogan's going to give me a tour. Hogan, I feel, would have a mechanical kangaroo outside like this. Like, rusted and worn down and creaking, but it still keeps going anyway to attract in the tourists. We've got these lovely little carved out plastic kangaroo signs. These big old... Looks like these can kind of connect together, you know, these, it's not actually been done perfectly, but they can connect together, these sort of wavy lines. That's going to be really nice to mess with. And then this chunky little Australia sign, which I really like. We don't have much geographical stuff in the game right now, so that's going to be pretty cool to have actual hints to Australia itself. Also, we have this big boy on the right hand. What is this? This is like the first modern thing we've seen. Now, I believe these white things... The pillars holding it up, I kind of recognise those, but I believe the top, whatever this is, this kind of bendy netted thingamajiggy over here, this kind of huge sunshade or whatever it is, I believe that's new. I definitely don't recognise it. Maybe it's been created from individual panels, maybe it's a big old item. We're going to have to wait and find out. Anything new there? No, just a nice glimpse at everything we've been looking at. This might be a new path right here. I think it might just be a sort of red, flat, Australian-looking path, basically like an outback sort of path. Now, that's interesting, but we know there are 2 other path types coming to the game as well. There is a lighter stone there, which could be new. I can't get a good glimpse of it. I really like this wooden pillar, statue, archway thingamajiggy kind of leading them into there. There's this kind of nice free-flowing, natural aesthetic that a lot of this pack has that I really, really resonate with. Really excited to try it out. I'm hoping this has been hand-built to some extent. You know, there's separate parts of this archway that we can connect together to build these extravagant sculptures. That'd be really cool. There you go, just a nice top view. Yeah, I think that's definitely new what this is. And yet that would be a new, it is definitely a new path type. Also really like this idea. I've never thought to do this, but to separate the path block by block. We may do that. We can see, ooh, on the bottom right, there's a new little Australian, there's a pillar, very short pillar in the corner. I can't point to it. I really like what they've done with the wood here though, to make this tiered, I'm going to steal this idea as well, to make this tiered plant pot sort of thing. I'm going to do that in our Africa Zoo, that's awesome. We can see the kangaroo again on the left hand side. Again, more of these hand painted sort of sunshade looking things. They're like large wooden shapes on metal sticks essentially, and it seems like they're going to be very flexible. Love the look of the eucalyptus, very, very cool. New plants up here in the top right. Don't know enough about plants to say what they are. Either way, the whole thing is looking, yeah, it's looking pretty awesome. Now, I did say we can see 3 species, and I did not tell a lie. If you look on the right hand side, there, right there on the right hand side, just hidden away, running into its feeding area, I believe that is the dingo. We don't get a great look at it, but it is a small mammalian orange creature in the Australian pack. I'm assuming that's the dingo. I did not spot the kangaroo, the koala, or the lizard, so let me know if you did spot those. Maybe there's a exhibit out there somewhere, but I'm sure we'll get photos of those soon. And of course in 5 days time I'll show you those and their babies and such as well. But, yeah, very interesting, very excited to see the koala in action, very excited to see the baby koalas in action more than anything else. I am so excited about baby koalas, it's going to be adorable. Also curious to see if there's any pouch rearing with the kangaroos. Now based on the image we saw earlier, I suspect not. Always excited about the animals, always really excited about getting my hands on the new decorations. We'll have videos on both on the 25th. We'll have one video looking at all the new animals. I'm going to build them some mini habitats and their babies, and then we'll have another video looking at every single new decoration and foliage item in the game, and then we'll probably build like a very small Australian park. I know people will panic and think that means the death for the Arda, but I promise we'll keep it tight. 5 episodes, 1 for each animal, something like that. Okay, all that said and done, because I know other people have talked about this pack a lot as well, I'm going to show you my little unboxing video now, which I did record before I knew when the Australia pack was going to be announced, so it may not make total sense, but hopefully it's okay. Hey folks, this is Best in Slot. Hopefully you can hear me and my very professional unboxing video. Basically, Planet Zoo Frontier, they sent me a really cool looking animal shipment crate kind of shebang in collaboration with HyperX. Very cool. There you go. Some stamps on there. Obviously some air holes. Whatever's inside is able to breathe. Handle with care, which as you can see, I did not. I did. Basically, so the box will open... Elephants. The box is going to open really suddenly when this comes off. And my last recording kind of died a little bit on me. So I'm having to redo this. Now, I haven't properly seen what's inside the box. I kind of just shoved everything back in and put it back together. So it might be a little bit messier than it was planned to be, but hopefully you guys can hear me and we can together find out what's going to be inside this box. Very exciting. So I undid the rope. Let's just get that out of the way. And then I think once I lift this, the whole thing is going to like split into 4 and like come apart. So here we go. Okay, we're getting there. We're getting there. I think it's good. Can I do this one-handed now? Let's find out. Ooh. There we go. Now, I will say I had already spotted the koala. This is Kimmy the koala, as I've now called her. There she is, looking adorable. I think you'll all agree. That's Kimmy. Hello. How many of you expected Kimmy to sound like that? Not many of you, I'm sure. But there's Kimmy, our lovely koala. Just get you a good look of her in focus. So I think we can take from the presence of a koala and also the maps and stuff like that. It's a really cool design box, honestly. Like, so it's got this shipment crate, and we'll take a look at the whole box in a sec. But it's got these maps and these sort of, oh, I wonder where that could be. And all this kind of like oldie style aged travel stuff, which is, oh no, don't look at that. Really cool. But if you haven't figured it out by now, the presence of Kimmy should tell you something. And it's right there, folks. Planet Zoo. Australia pack. Very bloody Nora. Come here. Oh, such a professional video. I'll tell you what, let's get everything else up first. There we go. Very, very, very exciting. There it is. I'd like to point out, I predicted this personally. I think most of us predicted this. Australia did seem like the next logical pack to follow on from what we've been having recently, but pretty cool to see it come true. Yeah, really excited about that. Now, I'm recording this on the 18th. We can't upload it till the 20th. I think they're planning to announce the pack on the 20th, so maybe by the time you guys see this video, you already know all about the Australia pack. I don't know. My plan is basically, what I'm going to do is a bunch of speculation about the pack at the end of the video, but I'll record that on the 20th if I know the pack is getting announced or not. Does that make sense? Either way, Australia pack, very cool. We're going to see, oh my feet, we're going to see koalas, I assume kangaroos, maybe just, there's a bunch of exciting, wombats hopefully, I love me a wombat, all that kind of jazz. Going to be very, very, very cool. Did get some bonus stuff as well. Kimmy, you want to move out the way for a sec there, love? We have a Pulsefire Dart, which is a wireless gaming mouse. Pretty cool. I have a mouse that I already love, but I do have a wireless mouse, which kind of sucks, if I'm honest, which I use for, you know, when I'm away from the PC. So I think I might end up bringing that in. And we also have a Charge Play base for the mouse as well, a way to charge up that wireless mouse without having to use, charges up 2 devices actually. What else is it going to charge? Interesting. Cool. So shout out to HyperX for sending the swag along the way. But really what we're excited about, as cool as that is, and big shout out to HyperX. Bigger shout out to Frontier, because they sent me a koala and an Australia pack. That is a very cool bunch of new animals. Hopefully tons of great new scenic options. New rocks. I'm very curious. It sounds daft, but I'm very curious what the new rocks will be. I talked about this a little in my video a couple of days ago. But since we've got savanna and desert rocks, how are Australian rocks going to look particularly different? I'm very curious to find out how that's going to work. Yeah, just a really cool little box. This is honestly, for me, like, my favourite perk of being a YouTuber. I'm not going to lie. Apologies, I'm shaking, by the way. I'm doing this one-handed. I just really enjoy this kind of stuff, like the theming and the excitement of opening this box that's travelled halfway across the world to transport some animals in and stuff like that. I just think that's a really cool idea. Not for the animal inside. The poor koala has had a hell... I keep including my foot. The poor koala's had a hell of a journey, but she's now going to get pride of place, probably over there somewhere. There you go. There's a little showcase of my bedroom. I'm trying to put my Jurassic Park posters, as you can see, up on the wall, but I need to get all of them framed before I can plan it out. Anyways, so I recorded the first video with my camera, and then I realised afterwards that my phone quality is amazing. So hopefully you guys can hear me okay, hopefully the sound's okay, hopefully the picture's okay, and hopefully you enjoy this little unboxing. If the Australia pack hasn't been announced by the time this video goes online, then we will do a little bonus speculation, but otherwise, yeah, just hope you enjoyed the unboxing and all this kind of jazz. And of course, we will be talking lots about the Australia pack throughout the day, and we'll do a big preview. And of course, in 5 days when it comes out, I will showcase all of that as well. Thank you so much for joining me. Big shout out to Frontier, big shout out to HyperX, big shout out to Kimmy. Thank you. Kimmy's got a very masculine, deep voice, okay? Well, as deep or masculine as my voice ever goes, anyway. Thank you for joining me. I'll see you lovely folks next time. Cheers much as always. Bye-bye.